And we are live. Let's make sure the audio is good. Let's see. Let's get everybody on YouTube notified. And we are good. Okay. Peace to the fam. It's your Crypto King, PUP, and I'm back at it once again. And I'm just here to get you excited about this cryptocurrency. Peace, family. I have brought to you another special guest, another special interview today. We have Tavonia Evans, the founder of GUAP Coin, here today. Let's welcome her in. Welcome, welcome. So far, let's go. Let's get the people in. Make sure you come on in, hit the like button, hit the share. Let's get the family aware that we got Tavonia Evans right here. And we're about to talk about GUAP Coin and pretty much how this is about to make a huge impact on the Black community. Am I right, sis?
Absolutely.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. So, first things first, I want to get into, I want to start slow and get into a little bit about, who you are and, your career and how you got started in cryptocurrency for those who do not know out there.
Well, my name is Tuwana Evans. I'm a mommypreneur. I've been in technology for almost 20 years. Started out in design and in network systems, network engineering, etc. Moved over to development, website development, programming. You have to excuse me. This is how we do. Data analysis, software engineering, and then cryptocurrency is where I'm at right now.
Wow. So the background is mainly in tech. So you have a history in tech. Wow. Okay. So you pretty much, when you heard cryptocurrency and this technology evolved
on in,
you knew what time it was. Amazing. Okay. That's great. That's amazing. So a question that I ask about, a little bit about your background, what type of internet security insight, did it give you, with understanding the technology, but also, co-founding Safe to Meet was a company that you co-founded. Right. So with that company, what gives you the internet security insight?
Well, that company dealt with security and, verification, working with APIs and etc. So it pulled a lot of stuff together. But the biggest thing I learned from that, because it was a startup, was really, that startup culture, because I've been in enterprise, I've been in government. It's a different culture when you get involved in startup, because it's like literally, you're quitting your day job and you're, letting loose the ties of security to really go hard for something that you believe in. So I think that prepared me for this, for GUAP, and for being able to, because this is it's a cryptocurrency, but it's a startup,
right,
so there's a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of building relationships. There's a lot of wearing a lot of hats. One day my hat may be CEO, founder, speaker. The next day my hat might be tech support. A lot of people, if you've already been participating in GUAP, you may have found you've already heard from me, because sometimes I'll, take a couple of minutes and look over my tech support stuff and see if we're keeping up with people and, keeping people satisfied. And if I have to get in it, I get in it.
Yes. Wow. So wearing a lot of hats, involved in startups, have the you have the entrepreneur, background and skill sets. Wow, you a busy woman, very powerful right now.
Well, the busyness comes from being a mommy I mean, you know, I have 8 children, so I everybody who knows me knows I'm always busy. So they don't ask me that question when they call. They like, are you busy? They know I'm always busy. So I'm like, whatever it is you're trying to do, you better get it in while you can fit it in. And that's, you know, we go from there.
Hey, if you got me on the call, tell me what you need right now. Get it out the way.
Get it in while you can fit it in, for real.
I mean, and I see you're sitting with your grandson, which, you know, once again fits into the mode that you're actually saying, that mompreneur. You know, right there, you know, it shows you're with your grandson right now, and you're still conducting an interview. You're also handling emails, messages in the background, you know, so you're literally, you know, juggling and multitasking, you know, right now as we speak.
This morning I had to take my kids to school. They missed their bus. Hey. And I had to clean the kitchen, and I had to, you know, do all of that and then come back up here for this interview. So that's that life.
Right. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing at the same time, because we doing it for the children. We're doing it for them and with them. They're able to see this. They're able to learn from these experiences and see what mommy is doing, what Nana is doing, or grandma. I'm not sure what you go by. But G-Ma, there you go. What G-Ma is doing, and they actually get to embody that, you know, for themselves. That's an example to guide them. So and that's the blessing that comes behind being an entrepreneur, being a person, an innovator, you know, a person that wants to leave a legacy behind, you know, for their family and their community.
Yeah, because a lot, you know, I'm also a life coach, and a lot of the women that I talk to, you know, they have families, they have children, and they get frustrated because they're trying to juggle the two, you know. And me, I guess I've done so well juggling the two because, you know, I believe in my skills and what I do. And if you need me and you need my skills, none of all of this matters. You know what I'm saying? I've been on corporate calls with my kids in the background screaming. But because they need me, you need me, you know, they tolerate all of that. They be like, well, I know when I call Tavona's house, I'm going to hear a whole lot of whatever in the background. That's just how it is. And I don't have no shame in my game, because this is like the most beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's just how I've been. So I think that's kind of what's added to my success in some level, because this is not the part I'm ashamed of. I'm not ashamed of my kids.
Most definitely.
You know? So,
and it's inspiring to see that, though. You know, it's inspiring for not only is it inspiring to me, you know, I'm inspired right now as we speak, you know, so to all the viewers, you know, I can't even imagine how it's also inspiring them and other, you know, queens and sisters that's coming up, young sisters that's also coming up wanting to be an entrepreneur, but also have children and probably juggling school and a job.
I done juggled it all. People who know me, I was up in the labor room giving birth with a laptop in my lap. So, you know, Dr. was like, okay, yep.
Wow.
And the laptop in my lap giving labor. And I remember one of my children, I had a home birth, and I was a moderator for a big forum at the time. So I'm on the forum giving birth to that child, you know, whatever. So yeah, it was dope though. It was really, really dope.
Strength, perseverance. What else? Oh, there's so many driven, you know, a lot of these words come to mind now that as you're speaking, you know.
Yeah, because you need those skills, you need those tools in business, you need perseverance, because if you don't, you'll be wanting to quit and give up. You know, you don't know how many times, you know, something really, like, I run into some type of opposition that is so tough, like I could feel it in my stomach, like a big old ball, you know, and I'll just be like, oh my God, I want to quit, you know, and then I get over it. like
Perseverance
5,
kicks
10
in.
minutes, and then I'm back to business. Everybody knows me and knows I'm like that. They'd be like, "Oh, okay, you okay? Okay, cool. We could keep moving."
Wow. This is the founder, family. This is the founder and CEO of GUAP Coin we are speaking with. You're listening to a personal side of her. She has no shame in her game. She shows you and tells you exactly who she is. Right here, right up front. We only in the beginning of this interview, and I'm inspired in so many different ways than just also bringing in that we're talking about crypto. You can forget that we're talking about crypto. But, you know, the inspiration is, you know, a lot broader than just crypto. But speaking of crypto, let me segue into, you know, what you are the founder of and CEO of, which is GUAP Coin. Now, GUAP Coin is created as an instrument to encourage and reward our consumers for supporting Black-owned businesses and causes. That's my I would say my synopsis that I put together of it, you know. But I'll share the screen and actually show the family what we're speaking of right here. This is the website. You can find it at guapcoin.com, and they're actually in ICO phase.
Yes.
Okay, and as you see, it says GUAP Coin has a plan to recycle wealth within the Black communities using blockchain technology. And yes, I definitely want to get all into exactly, you know, how this token will be utilized. So without further ado, can you please explain a little bit about the about GUAP Coin? Let's give us an introduction of GUAP Coin, your breakdown, your short breakdown.
Well, initially, the phase 1 is the token, and we want people to understand this. Phase 1 is the token. Phase 2 is the actual entire blockchain. The token that we have currently right now runs off the Ethereum ecosystem, which is a ERC20 compatible token. So if you're familiar with Ethereum makes use of something called smart contracts. It is the second largest cryptocurrency after Bitcoin. And it was created by a pretty young person, as a matter of fact, fairly young person. I'm like a Ethereum evangelist. I'm a crypto evangelist, but I'm an Ethereum evangelist. I hopefully believe in the Ethereum project. So I was very much behind that. But we've decided to build our token off of that. And the token in the first phase is to kind of introduce our community into cryptocurrency and into trading, into using it with our, you know, with our merchants, and et cetera. So we're building up a merchant network. We already have quite a few merchants. We are building an ambassador network, and our ambassador are like our crypto evangelists, our GUAP evangelists, so to speak. And our token has a reward system based into it. So whenever, you know, you're using it and you're going to be using it at a merchant, you'll be participating in a rewards pool that will reward you and reward participants of the network as well. Our private blockchain, which is the GUAP blockchain, which is phase 2, will involve essentially us having our own ecosystem where we have more control over the speed, over the security, over the usages, over the fees, all of those things like that. So it's a private, quote unquote, Ethereum network that we'll be launching, which will also house our music network as well.
Wow.
Yeah, we got something in the works for the music industry that's pretty revolutionary that will run on our blockchain. Now, mind you, our blockchain would be capable of also giving birth to other coins.
Yes.
So we encourage other people to, you know, to work on their plans for launching a token for their micro economy, whatever it may be, and we'll support them. And their token could be on the GUAP platform as well.
Okay. Wow. Now that is actually huge plans, you know, for GUAP Coin, you know, and like taking it back to phase 1, you know, with it being, you know, just the introduction of this token, you know, and introducing the Black community to cryptocurrency, which is definitely needed, you know, and I myself is working in the community, in the Black community, introducing cryptocurrency. You know, I just held 2 events within my city, and just to introduce Bitcoin and blockchain technology, you know, from the research that I've constructed and put together. You know, obviously, I'm not the expert, you know, and I don't think there is any experts in this field, but you know, I'm taking the initiative in my community also to, you know, spread the message and spread the word. Like, you know, this is where the future is going. We have an opportunity to position ourselves and also create our own ecosystem. You know, that's what I see. I see crypto gives us the power that we need to actually create our own ecosystem, and it gives us that capability, you know.
Right. Yeah. See, the energy that we have right now is we don't want to get left behind. You know, like the .com boom and, you know, all of that. So that's kind of where everybody is. So we see an opportunity. It's almost like, you know, you see a door open to a cell and you see an opportunity to break free. You know, you're running through that door.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And it's a good thing because, you know, me being in the technology field, I've seen that. I think that what's been holding us back for a long time is fears. So with us running through that door, I see that a lot of those fears are alleviating, which is going to open the way for more innovation, you know, more new things, etc. So, you know, it's an exciting time to see, you know, our people really kind of get fearless with this and run with it because, you know, at this current time, we're like the trendsetters. You know what I mean? So this is like monetizing our popularity. We're very popular, you know? So, you know, we need to monetize that. We need to, and then that monetizing, we need to be able to take that monetizing and put it back in our community and benefit from it, you know? So
and that would be, you know, your idea of the reward system that GUAP coin has.
Right. And not even just the reward. See, even just using it is a benefit. You know what I mean? Even using it will benefit your community. So it's like you don't even have to. This is going to be like a no-brainer. You know, whatever you do, if somebody comes in our community and uses it, they're going to be benefiting our community. You know what I mean? So, you know, we want it to be as painless and transparent as possible. So, you know, it's not something that we have to think about, but it's psychologically building those channels that are creating more value and self-worth, you know, in our community.
And GUAP coin opens up that door because now you're in your community promoting a coin that gives back to the community and circulates through the community. So you're specifically targeting obviously the Black community, right?
I mean, well, we're starting, it's like a you know, a circle, you know, you start at the center and you move outward, you know? So we want to solidify our center and make sure that that's rock solid and supporting us so that when it moves out, you know, we still have this. You know, there's a lot of things that we don't have, we don't own, you know, they're not solidified for us, you know, but this is an opportunity to take ownership of something.
That's a fact. And that is exactly why I, you know, put together this platform. You know, this is crypto kings and queens. You know why I want to inspire people to actually innovate in this space and create their own, so we have our own. Why? Because now in the very near future, that king and queen status that we literally are now looking back on our history and saying, man, we carried that, we owned that, we were that. We can be that now. We are that with our own. You know, this right here is giving you the opportunity to say, hey, this is now our own ecosystem.
Yes.
and you're targeting, you know, you're starting off in this first phase of targeting the Black community into getting started and building the foundation amongst, you know, I would guess Black entrepreneurs and business owners and merchants.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is to now people get some GUAP coin. We would get GUAP coin now. I would say, if I wanted to get some GUAP coin now, would I be looking forward to just holding on to some GUAP coin, or do I now look for merchants that I can spend GUAP coin with? Like, what would be?
Well, of course, we have to work on getting this in as many hands as possible, getting our merchants in. So this is going to be some time. This is not something that is going to be like, you know, you get GUAP coin and next month you're already spending it. That's not realistic. We don't want people to be fooled into thinking that, you know, that's that realistic. But, you know, you can get it, you can hold on to it, you can follow the movement, you can support the ambassadors, support the merchants. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole ecosystem, and it's a movement. So it's going to be something that's going to be continuously growing, touching all areas of the community. You know, it's plenty to do. You know, there's plenty to do, and you can jump in and be a part of that.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm glad you actually clarified, you know, that, because I wanted to actually put that perception out there, because, you know, a lot of people want to get into crypto just to flip it and make money and try to get rich quick and things of that nature. And that's not what it's a lot bigger than that.
Right. This is more of a utility, you know, meaning that this is something that we're going to be using.
Yes.
I'm putting on minions for my grandson at the same time. There you go. But this is a utility, you know, so it's something that's going to be in use. That means it's something that's going to take time. You know, there are plenty of things that you can get into on the investing side if you want to, or make money. That's why people like you, Crypto Kingz, and other people are here to make people aware. But at the same time, this is something that could build up your community. You know what I'm saying? This is a project that you can grow with and that can build.
I like one of something that you've coined in one of your last interviews. It was called it brought up a community currency. You know, this is what you would call a community currency.
Yeah.
You know, there are now 1,500 different cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap right now.
Right.
And I remember you saying, imagine looking at CoinMarketCap and one of those coins was in the millions and billions, worth in the millions and billions, and it was one of ours circulating through our community.
Right.
Go into your inner city, your community, and say, well, I use GUAP coin here. I use GUAP coin there. Pay, you know, and it's really, really needed. And I see I'm on the why the need for GUAP, you know, and I just want to even read this little section for the family to even show how you actually typed out the need. You know, circulating money within the community is critical to keeping Black-owned businesses alive, which is true. They cannot compete with giant corporations and are unable to pass on adequate savings to consumers. Very true. They have a vested interest in their communities where they reside. So they are essentially for the strengthenings for local opportunities for so-called minorities, which is quote unquote so-called minorities. You know, community businesses drive not only economics, but also politics. They help fund interests that benefit the launch of new businesses, schools, and philanthropic efforts. Yeah. The community thrives unless people suffer displacement due to either poverty or gentrification. And your idea behind GUAP coin is to solve those issues within the Black communities, the inner city communities that actually spend a lot of money outside of the community.
Yes. Yeah, we have the biggest problem that we have is an economic problem, but it's also a problem that we can solve. Yes. You know, And many people have touched on it. Many people have said, well, if you just took $1, if everybody took $1 and we put it to this, or if everybody did this, we did this. But it's kind of unrealistic, you know, on a whole. But when cryptocurrency comes into play, it becomes very realistic and very obtainable to source your money and to channel your funds towards particular efforts, you know, so it definitely solves that issue.
Yes, yes. Now, as far as, you know, some other problems that may be that we face, you know, like consumerism, you know, being one of the one issue. Like
the biggest problem that we face is the lack of faith in our own stuff.
Talk to him.
The biggest problem that we face. We will jump and run and buy into anything of anybody else's without question, you know, and it shows a real pattern. I go on many of the crypto forums and the crypto communities, and they're talking about all these coins. Right. And, you know, all of these coins may talk a good game, but right. It's two things. At the end of the day, what are they doing for you? You know, and are they really even going to follow through with what they say that they're going to do, you know? Right. So, but you have these people that are so entrenched with these coins, and they're thinking about what? They're thinking about getting paid. They're thinking about they're going to make a lot of money, greed off of this coin. So again, it points to our core issues in our community. We might think that we're poor or we have problems with poverty, but we actually have problems with greed.
Yes.
You know, greed is a big problem that we have. So, you know, a lot of people think that poor people can't be greedy, you know, but a lot of times greed is what keeps poor people poor, you know, because you have to be willing to make a sacrifice for something that's going to bring you and your children and your children's children some longevity and success.
Yes, that
you know, so these are basic, you know, kind of basic core concepts that, you know, we have to have these honest discussions about these things, you know, and be honest about it and be real.
Now GUAP coin actually now puts that talk on the table. It says, listen, we have our now own ecosystem here. How are you really benefiting the Black community?
Right.
You know, even if you talk the talk, how are you really showing that you benefit the Black community with what currency? Because now we are entering a world where we have different cryptocurrencies that we can utilize to support each other. Now, GUAP coin is, I spoke about many different ones, but GUAP coin would be a specific one that benefits your Black community. If you are, you know, we have many different communities. Like we have the Black community, we have the conscious community, we have the Hebrews community, we have the Moorish communities, we have the indigenous communities, we have the African American communities. You know, we have all of these separate communities, but we all one people.
The truth is, we need a more universal, you know, unified approach. You know, because yes, we got Moors, yes, we have this, we have Hebrew Israelites, we have that, but that's not unified enough. You know, that's not universal enough. We need a universal, and the main universal thing we have in our community, of course, is music. You know, and that's why we named GUAP coin GUAP after that, because it fits in our you know, our hip hop roots. And what we do, what
we created that coin, we created that word from hip hop.
Right. And we created hip hop, you know. So, you know, that's something, hip hop is something that has touched every corner of this earth.
Yes.
You know, so if you can imagine, I'm trying to
she got cut out. I guess little grandson hit the button, but it's okay. But do you not hear what we're actually talking about? Just to even piggyback off what she's saying, that with all the different communities, right? We got all these different communities, but what's universal? Number one, what's universal is the music. But how about number two? It's money. every community still use the dollar to pay their bills and support and still support their organizations and things like that they're growing with, or they're trying to grow to support Black communities or wake up the people. They still tapping into the dollar, where now we can say, hey, put that dollar into GUAP coin, pay the Hebrews, pay the Moors, pay the conscious community, pay all of these different organizations that are building something within the Black community, pay them or support them in GUAP coin. That would be the idea, that is being, shared here. Now I want to get her back on. I hope she comes back on as soon as possible, because I also want to tap into, like different backlashes that even our people have given from even hearing about GUAP coin, and how it taps into how we don't even support our own, and we're scared to support our own, or even create our own. And when we do it, we don't get enough support to launch it, or the launch it to the level that it needs to be. So I really want to tap into that and tackle that. Okay, it seems like we do got her back on. Let me get her back in here. Here she comes. Here she comes.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. My laptop died. I wasn't paying any attention to the bars.
No, but you were hitting some great points, and one thing that I was piggybacking off of what you were saying with, one thing about all of the different communities that we have that we're creating to help build back up the Black community, is that it's not enough unity in it, and they're all separate. And one thing that's universal about us is the music, but another one was the money aspect. Every single organization still is using the dollar to fund or get support for their organization, where now you're sharing the idea that now universally, hey, fund the help support the Hebrew Israelites and with GUAP coin. Help fund the conscious community with GUAP coin.
Right.
The nonprofit organization that's struggling to get funding for all of the different type of free events that they want to put up in the community that brings positivity to the community. All this positive aspects that we want to bring, but we looking for a dollar. Mm-hmm. Now we can say use our own, digital asset called GUAP to fund that. And then when you use that, that's also getting put into a pool that's also going to get spread back out into all of the, supporters of GUAP coin.
Right. I mean, it's a basic concept, but again, I told you it really takes some degree of faith. And I think that is the faith and the vision to be able to see into the future and see how this could potentially grow exponentially and benefit us.
Right, which segue right into my next, question is, what type of backlash, are you seeing from even our own people? Even before we get to the outsiders, how about even our own people?
Well, first thing I want to say is, surprisingly, I've gotten more support than I thought I would ever get initially. That was a good thing. Yes. But of course, within our community, there's been naysayers. There has been, and my approach to the naysayers is, there's always that thing that says, well, you have to come out and explain yourself and debate. But then there's a lot of spiritual wisdom that tells you if you waste time debating, then you're taking away good time from the work that you could be doing and to grow. So from my back in the days, I probably was like a really good debater, being online. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to say this. I know all of these things, but you know what? I'm at the point where you know, I'm like, I'm gonna let the universe handle that.
Yes.
I got other work to do, because if I
Yes.
spend my energy on that and I feed that monster, they always say, don't feed the trolls, you know? So if I spend my time feeding that, then I take away food from my children and everybody else.
This is not a debate. This is not a debate anyways, you know? I mean, for someone to even say that, this is not a debate.
I mean, I've had people come in and they'll bring up a certain, you know, there'll be some people that, you know, they have a little bit of blockchain information, and I'll be like, you know, they'll ask me questions that are not relevant to even what we're doing. You know, they'll ask me, well, is this secured by so and so, but they're referring to Bitcoin related technologies, and we're on Ethereum. So in the back of my mind, they'll tell me, you really don't know. Not too many people know so much. You understand? Yes. So it's like you're grasping for straws. So why waste your time grasping for straws? Why not figure out how you can get in and help this? So people who have had, you know, technical knowledge and they have approached me, I'll ask them, so what is your solution? Yes. You know, let's get the solution then, and we can work out implementing and making this better. You know, and then you'll either see people fall away that really don't have any, you know, interest in it whatsoever, or you might find someone who is genuinely interested, and they'll put forth their expertise to make this better.
Right.
So, you know, you always say, I'm a big fan of saying, you know, test the spirit, you know, see what definitely
really go. You definitely highlight, you know, the spirit aspect and speak with true wisdom, you know, from that, you know. Now I also realize, you know, that the ICO phases were extended.
Yes, because we've had to spend a great majority of our time educating people, you know, and a great majority of our time, you'll have people that literally will call us and message us. They want to know about the crypto process itself, you know, about cryptocurrency, where the value comes from. So we had to spend a lot of time just educating people. You know, rather than just marketing. We're not marketing, we're educating people, you know. So we were now able to really kind of get into our marketing phase hardcore, just like now recently, because we have some pretty big marketing events coming up. So we're looking at probably extending it a little bit again, but we're gonna offer bonuses, and that's what we have to do. We go in our reserves that's reserved for us, and we take that and use that to offer bonuses to people who participated, and say, well, okay, we want to please you, we want to serve you. You were the first people that came here. We want to serve you. You are very important to us.
Yes.
So if we have to, you know, we can offer more bonuses, you will get the bonuses because you've been here with us since day one. Yes, you know, and then we're still trying to get because we got to get our numbers up. We got to get this in the wallets of, you know, people all around. Yes. And it's like, even if we're going to do, people have mentioned, well, giveaways and airdrops and stuff like that. We want to do that.
Yep.
But we got to rally that around a really good marketing effort. And we have to make sure that we have the dollars in place for that really good marketing effort. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So this is the startup life. We've been juggling the resources that we have to really maximize. We got some great people. We got some people that are really good in marketing, a lot of contacts, people good in technology. You know, we've been having a lot of meetings, and we really have to, again, even when we have meetings, we have to educate those people, you know? So it's a constant, it's work. It's a lot of work.
Yes. You know, and speaking of your contacts, I see you also have a team. You know, I'm showing and highlighting, you know, some people from your team, you know, that you have on your website. Can you give a little background on you know, some of these faces that we have here and what roles they play?
And mind you, we have even a bigger team than that. We haven't updated so much of our thing. We have an advisory team that we're building that are going to have community leaders in the advisory team. You know what I mean? But this is our team. We have a Colo who he is actually one of our advisors.
Okay.
He's very good in financial services and educating people on financial. And we think that's a very big, important part of it, is educating people financially on legacies, on the importance of leaving a legacy behind for your children. My CVO is Toya McCormick. She is awesome. She is a COO, CVO. She handles our operations. She comes from enterprise. She's worked for companies like EY and Coca-Cola and all of that. And she brings her expertise to the table. She is also a life coach. She is also my life coach. Wow. I think it's very, very, very important as a person in business that you have a life coach, that you have a business coach. Because, you know, we just don't, I know a lot. I know technology, I know business, I know marketing, but I don't know everything, you know, and I want to make sure that my decisions are sound, the decisions that I make, and that helps me. And this is Eric Duncan. He's our CTO. He is the mastermind behind a lot of technology projects and very brilliant, well-traveled, technology person as well. We have Eric Parker, who is the head of our marketing. He's our chief marketing officer. Eric Parker is the relationship master, with a lot of people in the industry. He comes
he's the one that's out there building those networks.
He is a guru of relationships. Guru. He is so dope. And he is so dope with his marketing. And then we have Byron Newby, who is the head of our ambassador program. Again, really, really excellent. And he is the biggest GUAP evangelist probably that we have.
Yes.
He loves this mission and is all about pushing forth this mission. So we live this. GUAP is our lifestyle. It's not just our work. It's our lifestyle. It's how we live. And we want to share this lifestyle with everybody.
Most definitely. I definitely would love to get these two brothers on, either Eric or Byron.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely let them know. Absolutely.
Yeah, we get bring a lot of energy to it.
Right. And we also have our attorney. He's not listed up here right now, Damian Bevel. He is awesome. He's another brother, from New York. He's one of my alumni, very, very intelligent, knows his security stuff and the laws and the legalities. And it's so, I feel like I feel blessed. Like, I feel like my life in the technology world has been filled with like God putting people in place to do this, and then when the time came to do this, I could literally reach out to these great people and say, hey, we got to do this. Are you willing to make the sacrifice and leave your corporate, leave this and really do this? These people, let me tell you, these people could be somewhere else making $250,000 a year, as well as myself. People don't understand that. Right. It's been times I throw my hand up and I'll be like, I can go back to corporate and I can make $250,000, and I could, do this. And then I like, but this is my passion, my love, my baby, I can't run away from. And then, it was amazing that I didn't have to really beg them to come on, board. You know what I mean? Like, they saw the mission and it was amazing to me. So I was like, this was meant to be. So,
So a question about more about your team. How about who, I don't know if it was anybody specific that we just named, but who is actually hands-on developing, like the marketplace functions, the APIs, the different system, the reward system, and doing all the coding and things of that nature?
Developing what? I'm sorry, you bleeped out.
Okay, nope. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so as far as your team, or more in depth of with your team, who is actually hands on, developing the marketplace that you mentioned, or the APIs, integration,
okay. Well,
and the coding?
Everybody has ownership of a particular thing. With the exception of Toya, she has ownership of everything. She is the link that brings everything together. Okay. But me, hands-on in the technology, hands-on in the blockchain, hands-on in Ethereum, hands-on in support, hands-on in education, hands-on in teaching. Eric Parker, hands-on in marketing. Marketing is his thing. How are we gonna market these messages? Who are we gonna get to market these messages? What is gonna be our plan? What is our plan and how we're gonna execute this? He's all hands on that. He's also hands on the technology. The ironic thing is mostly everybody up here has some technology, background.
Right. Okay.
So if they need to dive into support, they'll dive into support as well. The other Eric, we have two Erics. Eric Duncan, who was our CTO, hands-on in, our infrastructure, and how we need to support our infrastructure. Akolo, hands-on in our financial structure and building financial relationships that will enhance, our finances. And we also have a CFO, which I'm sorry, he's not listed on there right now as well. His name is Imani Moody, and he is very hands-on in developing our financial structures and plans, etc. For that. So, we got some really, really good people. Everybody's hands-on. We just hands-on GUAP. Wherever we need to get in, we fit in. Fit in, get in. That's our philosophy.
Moving forward, there will be now, because you mentioned that you guys are going to definitely put together your own blockchain. So then moving forward, we would have our own developers, that's working on our own blockchain.
We've already started developing our own blockchain. Okay. The biggest barrier in developing your own blockchain is building the infrastructure to support it, because once you now divorce yourself away from the standard, then you now have to be compatible with everything else out there, or, you have to build a compatible network. So you're talking about the miners, they have to be able to mine it, because they won't be able to mine it out the box, Right. So you have that. And then you also have to have, certain wallets, other people's wallets will not be compatible with that. You have to make sure you have your wallet in place, your software in place, your server networks in place to support the whole infrastructure, because you're talking about, potentially billions of people.
Billions, right.
So, you have to, this is a world that you're building. While the software that's in the middle of it may not be that difficult, supporting it is going to be your challenge.
Yes.
As you can see that with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin went up really high, the fees went up high, everything slowed down. All of the exchanges slowed down, and, eventually it was almost to a cracking point to whatever,
and that was selling off. Like, I'm about to go my own way.
Right. That was Bitcoin. So can you imagine? So that's what we have to deal with. Yes. We have to make sure that we have the infrastructure in place, and that involves not just, even though we're targeting this towards our community, we have to travel outside of our community to see what solutions are being implemented to handle things. Why try to rebuild the wheel when they've already dealt with the wheel? You understand? That's my philosophy.
I agree 100%, because at the end of the day, like, Bitcoin was the one that opened the door for for cryptocurrency. Ethereum opened up the door to build your own. Now we got so many other ones that's also building their own, but they're running into the issues, things like that they're fixing, that GUAP coin is that information you're going to need for GUAP coin. Some of those developers may actually want to help out GUAP coin and things of that nature. So that's expanding, the benefits to GUAP coin, actually. So I agree 100%. So another question would be, can you explain the GUAP coin market, and when will it be launched? I think it must have froze. Okay, yep, you froze. One second. She's frozen. My bad, family. Bear with us. The new Black Wall Street. Yes, sir. I'm looking into the comment box. I see you, Project Crypto. Peace, family. But this is why we go live, family, man. We bring it to you just right. We bring it to you live and direct. You know, yes, we may have a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's perfectly fine. But I really want to tap into now like some use cases, you know, for GUAP coin. And I know one of them was the marketplace. So I want to tap into the marketplace. And then, you know, close it out with the roadmap. So we can, so we know what to look forward to. But it definitely shows that, you know, GUAP coin has a lot of things that, of course, needs to be put in place. And, you know, this is a startup. But the idea is there. It's launched. So now and now it's also in position where, you know, whatever you bring to the table also fits right in, and you can help grow our own, you know, ecosystem here. And that's what the whole purpose of GUAP coin is, basically building up a new Black Wall Street, getting guap. It sounds like I should have said that and when rapping something. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna be getting guap for real in crypto. So that's what I actually see. It's real guap, not the And yes, that's another question. Will guap be mineable? It's gonna, from what she was just speaking about, you know, once I'm from what I got from what she just said, you know, once the their own blockchain is built up, that's when, you know, the mining capabilities will come into play. You know, right now they just running off the Ethereum blockchain, you know, and getting people educated about GUAP coin and how it's going to be used. And of course with Ethereum, or with Ethereum, you can, you know, hold on to those tokens. And if I'm not mistaken, use the proof of stake concept. GUAP. It doesn't seem like she coming back in. But no, I appreciate y'all for watching. For everybody that watched, make sure you hit the like, hit the share. I'm gonna actually edit this up, post the edited version on DTube. So make sure y'all go check it out on DTube. You know, we gonna be doing only live shows, you know, pretty much on YouTube now, where, you know, I engage with y'all live, but the content and the messages will be edited and put up on DTube so you can digest it all, and you can, you know, actually digest all the information without any of these live interruptions. Okay, she is back.
Hey,
she back.
I had to jump on my phone because my computer.
Let me get you over here. Just promoted to, there we go. I just want to get your camera.
Hey.
There we go.
So, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I was just pretty much keeping the conversation going about what we were speaking about. And I also wanted to tap into, you know, the roadmap, you know, the coming roadmap. Well, there was one question from the chat. Is GUAP coin going to be mineable?
Well, the mining that we have initially with this coin is going to be for transactions. So there are different kinds of mining. There's mining that will actually yield you coins, and then there's mining for transaction fees. So yes, you'll be able to earn transaction fees, But mining for particular coins, we've already, I guess you could say we have our coin supply already created. So, but there will be mining opportunities for you to be able to mine to earn transaction fees on every transaction.
And you mentioned coin supply, and I want to tap into the market cap, the coin supply, which is I also saw they talked about you getting a little bit of backlash about why so many coins. Why did you create so many coins?
Well. First of all, we are going to
answer for that.
We are going to burn the unsold tokens. So, you know, it's not going to be 9 billion, but you also got to realize that this is a utility token similar to Ripple. Ripple is facilitating transactions. So when you have a utility token, a lot of times you'll have a large amount because this is something that people are going to be using on a day-to-day basis and, you know, using in every facet of society, not just, you know, something that you're going to be holding on to try to get value for or trade on a market.
Right. It's not it's not intended to blow up to a huge price, you know what I mean? You know, and
unaffordable and you know, if you look at Bitcoin now, even still, the fees become very, very high because, you know, when it goes up that high. So it becomes like what, you know, it could be $20. It could cost you $20 to send $10 worth of Bitcoin. Hey, what's wrong? Come on.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And you know what? And that was the answer that I love that you gave about that. You know, where this is a utility coin. This is not something that you're coming in to invest into. This is a coin that you want to invest or get a hold of some and actually use it to support your community. And that was the prime point that I heard you make when you actually you know, smash that whole this coin isn't going to be worth anything, or this token isn't going to be worth anything because it has a huge supply cap. Right.
I was putting back on the minions. But yes. I did get a little bit of backlash about that in the beginning, but like I said, this is a utility token. This is not a luxury coin that we're trying to create.
Nice. This is the community currency. You got to be able to buy some. It needs to be affordable.
Right.
Now, speaking of utility, how can you explain